Star Citizen Alpha 4.3.2 is the next major patch for Star Citizen, and we've had a roadmap update for it. The patch is expected in October, probably coinciding with CitizenCon Direct on the 11th of October, or the week after. If that's the case though, it's likely going to be going to Eva Carti by the end of next week, because they'll need to get some testing in before releasing the patch. On the Alpha 4.3.2 roadmap, we can see that there's a new event in 4.3.2 related to the Fight for Pyro storyline. We do know that CIG have been working on mission givers for Frontier Fighters, or at least the characters in the Frontier Fighters and their leader. I would expect this event to be a little bit PvP orientated. Klaus & Werner Laser Repeater Art Refactors is another feature here. They've been updating some of the weapons in game, and they're updating the Badgers, the Bulldogs, and the Panther laser repeaters, size 1, 2, and 3. I'm expecting this to propagate out to larger sizes of these laser repeaters and other weapons that they've already updated in the near future. New Wicklow ships. They are adding some new ships to Wicklow's Emporium, the Crusader A2 Hercules, the Crusader Ares Inferno and Ion, the Asperia Prowler Utility, and these are all going to have upgraded components, might have unique base liveries. There's some heavy Battletech armor. We've got a picture of this, and we also have a sneak peek of this too. So one was from the actual roadmap update and the other from a recent newsletter. We know that CIG are trying to build in soft classes based on the FPS gear that you use, and this looks to be more combat orientated. There's a couple of new hairstyles as well, a short mohawk and a mullet starter. A couple of the features that were pushed out in the last couple of patches, the AI FPS turrets, which adds anti-personnel turrets for players to avoid or destroy, to sort of generally provides a challenge in PvE, and mission pickup on location, enabling new missions to be discovered and added to journals when you approach or enter a designated area. These should be turning up for this patch. There are other expectations beyond what is on the roadmap for this patch. CIG were recently talking about carrier and mothership gameplay, which I was expecting in the last patch, but I would now expect it in this patch, unless I'm missing something or misunderstanding what CIG have said. They had basically said, though, carrier ships like the Idris or the Polaris, for example, would be able to rearm, repair, and refuel a ship that was docked with them, landed in their hangar. We know that CIG have been running Vulcan tests and AI update tests on the tech preview build. This is General Squadron 42 updates that they want to phase into the game. These could turn up in 4.3.2. There's going to be, at some point, the ships from Fleet Week turning up in the in-game stores, and CIG have said we want to get some ships in-game stores, at least their base versions, as quickly and sensibly as possible, and we're going to do this more reliably than before, such as things like the MTC and the Guardian MX, but also potentially the Idris P. We know that the Stanton Pyro jump point is going to become a Heston Dynamics station because they won the race for Stanton. Also in this patch, all the Heston Dynamics landing zones, including that station, will be getting a permanent 5% off discount on all items and stuff sold there. The Anvil Paladin gunship is expected for the patch as well, or CitizenCon/both. There's also things that CIG have been working on, like cooperative zones, which got pushed out of one of the previous patches a couple of patches ago, 4.3. Well, this does appear to be more pyro-centric, more PvP type patch, so maybe cooperative zones not for this one, but for 4.4 later in the year. Some other bits and bobs for October, though. We've got CitizenCon Direct. That's going to be on the 11th of October. I'm expecting a load of cool stuff to be announced, some flyable ships to go flyable, and as we've previously said, the patch could coincide with CitizenCon on the 11th of October. We'll have to wait and see. It might not be. It might be like the week afterwards or whatever. Also, October is Halloween for Star Citizen, the day of Vara. They've had events associated with this before. They've had the ability to loot and find exclusive Halloween skins and masks, and you can typically pick up a load of spooky skins which are purple and green and things like that. So that's sort of what we know about Alpha 4.3.2 at the moment. I'm interested to know if you are excited for that or not, and do you think the Eva Carti is going to start later this week, later next week? I say Eva Carti, they typically go into Wave 1 and open PT real quick, within like days or hours now after an initial Eva Carti test. Talking about Eva Carti tests, CIG put out a post post, coming soon, select group gameplay testing. Greetings citizens, we're excited to announce the launch of our new program for select group gameplay testing. These tests are designed to gather rapid focused feedback on critical game systems through highly focused short burst sessions. How it works, the select group gameplay testing will operate on an invitation only basis, bringing together small carefully selected groups of players based on activity for targeted testing under NDA, non-disclosure agreements. Unlike our standard PTU waves, these tests will focus on specific systems or mechanics that require immediate concentrated feedback during active development. Tests will launch at irregular intervals based on development needs with short notice periods. Test duration will vary on the scope and requirements for each system being evaluated. All participants must sign and acknowledge NDA terms before gaining build access. All feedback for these tests will be submitted directly to us via email only. Email will be provided as part of the test invitations. For these tests, we will not allow forum posts, spectrum discussion, issue council reports, or external discussions about the test content. Participants will receive a comprehensive survey following each test session to capture their experience and observations. Selected citizens will receive invitations via email as an NDA agreement to sign. Keep an eye on your communications. So I kind of like this. It's not doing away with Evocati, but Evocati has softened over the last months. CIG need a tool and way of testing with a tighter NDA and more surgical groups testing specific things, getting feedback in a controlled environment, and then actioning that feedback. So there's less likely to be leaks with this stuff as well. CIG don't want this stuff to be discussed publicly. There's no way of sort of posting about these publicly that CIG won't see as well. They're going, look, send us emails about it. That data then can't be like scraped off the issue council or whatever for leaks. But yeah, you're going to see a changing set of players based on an individual test, based on the needs of each individual test by CIG. And they could use this for Squadron 42 testing in the future, or testing a new event, or gameplay they want to keep under wraps. They could also use this for testing engineering, or the flight model. If it's stuff for CitizenCon or the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo or a major event like that, this is a great way of having a Evocati styled group, but more hand-picked, specific for a situation and just better vetted. I did see someone saying in response to this, please don't use streamers for this, use regular players who just want CIG to succeed. Take a lesson from how streamers screwed up Call of Duty Warzone for the rest of us. So I somewhat agree with the sentiment behind that. Content creators are put in a strange position if they're testing something that they want to make content on but can't. They're incentivized to do that. I want to make content. It's going to affect my content if I'm part of a test group and can't talk about it. But I do just want the best people used for testing, which might in some cases be a content creator and in some cases not be. I just worry about someone having a particularly loud voice in a community pushing that way for what they want for the game, and it might not necessarily be the best way for the game, but people might just agree with them because they like that person. But the way CIG seem to want to run this test group, I think will avoid that for the most part. Super interested to know what you think in the comments below about that. It does appear that they're going to be using Evocati, PTU, tech preview builds, all that sort of stuff in conjunction with this as well. Let's quickly jump back to the progress tracker and the roadmap. CIG did update a few of the features they're currently working on there and their current projected timeframes of working on the current sprints for them. Just because work finishes in October or whatever for these currently does not mean that work for them is done and they're going to be in the next patch or anything like that. They still may require downstream work. They might require tons more work from another department or have to be tested and then go back to the drawing board or whatever. So just bear that in mind. Inventory rework. So I'm really looking forward to the updated UI and inventory and stuff like that. That's just the whole experience for that is improved. The current work that they've got planned ends in October, end of October more specifically. Yeah, I'd like to see this in the game early 2026. Super excited for that. They've got the transport refactor as well. Again, work for that is ending at the end of October currently. This is a refactor of the existing transit system to allow for easier design setup, easier integration into instance content like hangars, and more robust functionality in server meshed environments. Engineering. Current work pegged to be completed at the end of October. This allows players to manage, maintain, and repair various ship systems. Players can assume different roles that each provide a unique gameplay loop. With engineering gameplay, players have to contend with item degradation, malfunctions, and power management. We know CIG are bringing this to at least the tech preview build by the end of the year, and this also comes with a new armor system, which is temporary until they get Maelstrom in the game, which is the breakability stuff and the more physicalized stuff, but also we'll have like fire and all that sort of jazz with the updated version of engineering that we'll be testing hopefully by the end of the year. Crafting. Work for this is currently pegged to end mid-December. I do expect there's going to be quite a lot more work after that though. Implementing the ability for players to craft various items using resources from throughout the persistent universe. Now this is interesting because we could get some limited crafting next year and then that expand outright. FPS radar and scanning. Work for this mid-December. That's where it's currently pegged for. Improved signature system supporting much greater distances and dampening of signatures by environmental interference and larger signatures. Improved scanning driven by the same signature system as radar and ping available in ships, ground vehicles, and FPS. There's also the command module stuff. So this is the first feature that's pegged to have work completing at the moment or scheduled into 2026, and this goes into mid-February 2026. Introducing the concept of vehicles taking over control from other host ships, primarily used for spaceships like the Drake Caterpillar, but obviously the Ironclads as well. I think, citation needed, that it's required for escape pod gameplay as well. Boom! That's it for your updates today. I am super excited for Alpha 4.3.2 and CitizenCon. Just a load of stuff happening in October, and then we roll into November, and you've got the IAE, and yeah, just tons of cool stuff before the end of the year. Tell me what you think of that patch and what you're expecting to be in it. Are you expecting it to be released during CitizenCon or just after? Are you expecting the Anvil Paladin to be there and any other ships or vehicles? What do you think of that select group gameplay testing? A useful tool, or, well, actually they just had to fix Evocati because they had softened it too much? Or are CIG just going to see the same old leaks and the same old problems that they had with Evocati? With any of those features on the progress tracker that have their scheduled work ending, do you expect to see those anytime soon? The inventory rework, transport refactor, engineering crafting, FPS radar and scanning, and command module. Tell me in the comments below. And something else that you should do, oh, what's that? A link to NordVPN, the best darn VPN we've ever advertised on the channel. Go there, click that, or go to nordvpn.com/BoredGamer. It's effectively the same thing, but you click the link, you get a big discount on NordVPN. It helps out the channel because I get a little kickback and you get better accessibility, security, and privacy on your interwebs. Oh, perfect. Every month we have a ship giveaway, and for this month of September we are giving away an RSI Apollo Triage, a medium-sized flying medical clinic. It also comes with lifetime insurance and access to Star Citizen with a game package. All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning that is comment on any of my videos made during this month of September. If you would like to further support the channel, please remember to like, share, subscribe, watch my other videos on the channel for everything Star Citizen related. There's a load of useful links below as well to a load of stuff that I support or support me in some way with like NordVPN and all that sort of jazz, Game Glass, loads of cool stuff. But also, you could clickety-click on the join button under my videos to help support the channel even more by giving a little bit of money. Oh, isn't that good? Get a load of exclusive little bonuses as well. Or you can use Patreon to do pretty much the same thing, whatever you fancy. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great September, and I'll see you in the verse.